Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Pompeani, and thank you for joining us on the Steel City High School Football Wrap-Up Show. It's presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. The WPIAL regular season ended on Friday night with some interesting games that decided which team would continue on into the postseason. We'll have a breakdown of the playoff brackets later, but first, let's take a look at some of the big games from week number 9, starting with Thomas Jefferson hosting McKeesport, and TJ struck first in this game. 11-yard touchdown pass, senior quarterback Brody Evans gets it done. But then McKeesport's big man, Keith Spell, down to the 1-yard line. McKeesport ties it on the very next play. After a TJ punt, Spell again for a short touchdown. McKeesport goes up 14-7. And then watch this sequence. McKeesport has a 4th and 1 with a chance to go up 2 scores, but TJ stuffs Spell. So TJ decides to go deep from their own end zone, and that was a mistake. McKeesport's Dom Cochran picks it off midfield, and he's going to take it back all the way for a pick 6 at the end of the first half. The scoring slowed significantly in the second half. After a scoreless third quarter, it was Cochran again, picking off Evans, and McKeesport clinches the conference championship, winning 28-7. The conference title was on the line in Penn Hills when they hosted Woodland Hills on Friday night. Both teams were struggling early offensively, but the Wolverines get it going in the second quarter when Brandon Jones airs it out to Mir Walker, right there to make that catch. And then it's Walker again, this time with a direct snap. He finishes off the drive, 33 yards, and he's going to be gone. Woodland Hills strikes first. They're up 7-0. This is a real rivalry, and it was the game of the night for a reason. Back and forth they went, especially in the second half, and that's when the Indians get rolling. Pitt recruit Julian Duggar, keeper, 24 yards, and Penn Hills wins in a thriller, 26-21. And now on to Central Catholic at Gateway. A nice look at Antamarino Stadium high up in Monroeville. A dominating performance from the Vikings. Racking up the points, Peyton Wayner goes deep. Vernon settles. This one is good for 83 yards untouched. Central routs Gateway 51-7, your final score. And over Steel Valley, or Steel City High School football showcase, I should say. This is the game of the week. You saw it on CBS News Pittsburgh. It's a battle of Beaver and Aliquippa and Central Valley. And Aliquippa puts point on the board first early. How about this 29-yard touchdown by Tyke Hayes, a Penn State recruit, and he is so talented. Then in the second quarter, Aliquippa again after a Central Valley fumble that made the score 14-3. Right before half, Central Valley strikes back. It's a 6-yard touchdown. Coming up, Ethan Shearer. And this closes it down 3-3 at the half. And then in the third quarter, Central Valley takes the lead on a 49-yard touchdown run by Jance Henry. And this is really speed turned on, high octane, 17-13 Central Valley. But after that, it was all Aliquippa. They scored again and then another touchdown. End of the third. How about this run by Hayes? 73 yards. And watch the cutting here as he then turns on the gas. Look at the separation he gets. Aliquippa goes on and wins 27-17. And we'll be back with those pairings coming up next. Hey, welcome back. It's officially the postseason across the WPIAL. Brackets for each classification were announced on Saturday, and we have results. Let us begin with 1A classification. Southside won the Big 7 title, so they top the class and will face number 16 Monessen on Friday night. Union is the defending WPIAL champion. They land a number 5 spot. Will play number 12 Burgettstown. On the other side of the bracket, Fort Cherry emerged with a Black Hills Conference Championship and a number 2 spot in the playoffs. Now let's move on to 2A. We're defending WPIAL champion Steel Valley. They top the class. They're on a bye for the week 1, and they're going to face the winner eventually of Sarah Catholic and Western Beaver. Steel Valley has won 3 WPIAL championships since 2016. Number 2 Neshannock is also on a first week bye, and they will play the winner of Keystone Oaks and Beaver Falls that game this week. All right, let's go to 3A. Defending WPIAL and state champion Bell Vernon. They hold the number 1 spot in a bye week. And listen to this stat. Bell Vernon averages 40.5 points a game and only allows 10.3 points per game. East Allegheny won their first conference championships in 2001, so they secured the number 4 spot and are on a bye for week 1. Avonworth lost to Bell Vernon in the finals last season. They hold the number 2 spot in the class. They're also on a bye along with number 3 Elizabeth Forward. A game to watch, though, on Friday is West Mifflin hosting Mount Pleasant. West Mifflin's freshman running back Armand Hill has been on fire, rushed for 1,009 yards and 13 touchdowns in his last 3 games. That's a lot, and he just received an offer from Penn State earlier this week. Now on to 4A. Aliquip is the two-time defending WPIAL champion, and they have reached the finals 15 years in a row. The Quips are favored once again. They land a #1 rank and a bye week. 4A runner-up, last year Central Valley fell to #5 rank and will face #12 Highlands. On the other side of the class, #2 McKeesport is also on a bye week along with #3 Montour. The last time McKeesport won a championship was all the way back in 2005. All right, let's move along here. 5A, Peters Township. Top the classification, they're going to face #8 Franklin Regional on Friday night. Pine Richland is the reigning WPIAL and PIAA champs. They rank #3 and will play Bethel Park in the first round. Now in 6A, the top 4 teams make the playoffs in that classification, so it's Central Catholic as the #1 seed, followed by North Allegheny, Canon McMillan, and Mount Lebanon. Those teams will begin their playoffs in 2 weeks on November the 10th. And coming up next week, we're going to recap week 1 of the WPIAL playoffs right here on Steel City High School Football Wrap-Up Show. It's all presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. So join us for that. For CBS News, I'm Bob Pompeani. We'll see you next week.